Ratings. A rating show is something that we haven't done ever, I think, on this channel. So I thought let's do something different for today's daily show. It's so hard to come up with your own ratings and to come up with your own scales and try to give a rating because, like, we are not going into depth like Oscars or Grammys where we're looking at each individual point and we're not looking at certain criteria that's got to do with like the way they celebrated or the way they slid on the floor to the boundary when they stopped a ball. So we're just going to look at an overall feel amongst ourselves and talk about what we can rate these players as, because it was quite a difficult tour. It was up and down, like it went from player to, from game to game. It was an excellent, from an exciting point of view, it was an excellent series to watch. But there's a lot that of problems that the Proteas had, I think, from the batting perspective. So I think that you're going to probably see the votes probably skewed a lot in that particular arena. And when we're talking about the batters, all-rounders, how do you vote all-rounders? I'm going to presume that we have to rate them on batting performance, obviously, and bowling performances, and then let's tally it up in that way. It's going to be quite difficult. We're going to let you guys in the comment section help us as well and come up with your ratings just to help us a bit. But I've got 3 other guys on the show with me, so it will be a fight out to decide what rating we're going to end up with, because I think that we will all individually give our rating, but we'll take like a basic rating overall to decide what that player got as a team. You guys can help us out in the comment section, in the live chat as well. If you guys are new to this show and you're new to this channel, you know what you have to do. You obviously have to subscribe to this channel. You've got to click that notification bell for all future videos, please. And you'll get daily updates on everything straight to your phone as a push notification. So whatever phone you have, that will take place. Also, smash that like button and comment and share and do all of those things so that we can get into recommended feeds of other people on this particular platform. So let's get straight into the content. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. There's my co-host, Aditya, and we welcome to the daily show. It's where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. I brought Abai on the show, and I brought because he covered majority of the games, all the games actually. In fact, he did the reports for the T20 series, and that's why he has to be here. He also did a stats piece, basically describing an analysis piece, basically describing each position, each player, what they did throughout this tournament. So go to cricketfanaticsmag.com to go check that analysis piece. And then Seppo, of course, to bring the flavor. I mean, the man was obviously commentating on guerrilla cricket for this particular series and did some excellent work over there. So it's good to have his insights as well on the show. Just please remember, guys, to mute your mics and then only talk when we have the opportunity so that we don't get any background noise, etc. in the background. So this is a rating show. We've never done a rating show before. I thought this will be interesting, and I think it's down Abai's alley as well. Definitely, he likes these type of things. So let's get straight into it. I think we must start with the guy at the top. Let's just go down from the batters down to the bowlers. And let's do Quinton de Kock starting first. I mean, I'll give my rating and we can go around the screen and discuss it. I mean, Quinton was excellent throughout the series. I think that he should get a 9 out of 10. In my book, he's 9 out of 10 for this particular series. He was also good behind the stumps. He never made a lot of mistakes behind the stumps either. He also helped quite a lot with regards to Temba Bavuma and the captaincy, giving him some advice. I saw there, particularly with some DRS type of calls or any of the TV calls that the umpires needed to make. He always helped out Quinton a lot with that. And we saw them conversing a lot throughout the match. I think a 9 out of 10 is a decent one for Quinton de Kock. What do you guys think? Let's go Aditya, Abai, and then Seppo.
Yeah, I agree with you. Quinton de Kock is definitely 9 out of 10. And just before we continue, Abai wrote a brilliant piece, and I didn't get a chance to text him yesterday about it, but it was amazing.
Well done, Abai, man. Have I?
Yeah, I think if we were to just look at his batting, I'd give 10 out of 10. But if you were to factor everything in, like keeping and all, I think we're all on the same page so far with 9 out of 10.
Guys, I don't think we're gonna
as you
get.
can see, I'm prepared for this show. My thinking cap is green because Proteas fire. Yeah.
Nice, man. Abai, can you just give us some of the stats, Quinton de Kock stats, overall in this so far in the series, if you have it available to you?
Oh yeah, of course. So 255 runs, average of 51, passed 53 times with a best score of 70.
Awesome. So that's excellent. And Tsepo, your thoughts on that? Guys, we're not going to give a 0.5, eh? It's just going to be a whole number. You're going to confuse things if you're going to give 0.5s here.
0.5s. What about the all-rounders? Okay, we'll get to that later. But with Quinton de Kock, I mean, what a stellar player. What a fantastic player to watch, smashing it out the ground all the time. It looked like he was batting on a different pitch. Maybe it was because he was batting in the power play, but the way he was so aggressive in the power play constantly gave us great starts, no matter who he was with, whether he was with Reeza, Temba, even if it was brief, he was getting big runs. So, yes. Also, as Abai was saying, if we're factoring in his keeping, there was one game where he was looking a little. There were a few lapses in concentration, just not dropping catches, but I mean not being as sharp as you'd expect. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Giving it that. What's that show? Come Down With Me vibes. Yeah, there you go. That's how I'm going to do all my ratings. Oh, it's Dancing with the Stars. No, they have these nice little paddles.
Yeah, they hold it up.
Oh, do they?
I can't hold paddles. Sorry, mate. But yeah, Quinton de Kock, 9 out of 10.
I love Come Down With Me. It's an excellent show. The South African one is hilarious. It's hilarious.
The commentator is just so good. But yes.
Yeah. Isn't he the same guy that's on Love Island, they say? I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's the same guy.
Always. I didn't watch Love Island.
I think it's the same guy.
It trash.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason I watched it. So let's
because
move
it's so
on.
bad.
Well, I never was into Love Island, like ever. And someone told me to watch it. And then I tried the UK version. I was like, first season, I was like, okay, it's interesting, but I got bored very quickly because it's just the same thing over and over. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to watch the rest of it. So I only watched like one season. Then they said they're going to bring it out in South Africa. And I was like, no, I have to watch it. Because the reason why is because you know how South African people are. We've got some funny characters here. And we have such a diverse type of diverse people in this country. Colored people, black African people. We've got white people. We've got Afrikaans people. We've got so many diverse cultures, Indian people, so many. So like I wanted to see that funny stuff, man, on the show. That's why I watched it. I was into it for the comedy. But didn't really give me what I was asking for. As you know, Tsepo, the first season, you saw it on Twitter. Everybody was going crazy about it. But it got better towards the end. But let's move on. Aiden Markram. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Now, it's not completely his fault, I feel, because I think that they brought him in when they were struggling and they just needed to win games, and they brought him in at the time. I don't know if people think he should be ranked lower, but his fielding was excellent, and as well as his batting was excellent. I can't give him more because he only scored in one particular game, a brilliant score. So I don't think I can give him more than that. So for me, he's a 7 out of 10, even though I love him and I'd want to give him a 10 out of 10 every game. But from that perspective, I think 7 out of 10 is a perfect one for Aiden, from my perspective. Aditya, Abai, do you want to just, before they go, do you just want to give these stats quickly to the guys so that they know the stats and everything?
All right, 113 runs at 37.6, 1 half century, best score of 70.
Cool. Aditya?
Yeah. I agree with you again. I'd go with 6 for Aiden Markram. Unfortunately, didn't start with the team, and was perhaps in the wrong positions. Batting too low and then coming to 3. So yeah, I'd give him a 6 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, regarding Aiden Markram, it's kind of unfortunate he only got 3 games, because considering how he did against Pakistan in the home series, he should have been a confirmed starter right from the get-go. But it was still nice to see him play 3 games, and he finally clicked in the last game when it mattered most. I tend to be a little bit more generous because I was quite impressed with the 70, so I'm more leaning towards 8 out of 10.
Okay, cool.
Oh wow, 8 out of 10. Sure, a bit more generous. Jeepers creepers, that's a lot. But yeah, Aiden Markram only had 3 games. The first one, 23, at a strike rate of what's it? At a strike rate of 127, and then the second was 20 of 20. But then the third was that 70 at a strike rate of 145, and he basically came in as opener. And what I enjoyed about watching Aiden Markram is that in the first game that he came in for Anrich Klaasen. So they put him down the order, which isn't normally where he bats. So he had to adapt to score runs. And in his first innings, already scored more runs than Klaasen did in both his innings combined. So for versatility, I think we need to give him a point because right now we're chopping and changing. We don't know who's where and what. So it's nice to have someone that we can just sort of like put to fill the gaps and who's able to score at a high strike rate. I mean, he has the power. If this was a different ground, he'd probably have a whole lot more runs, guys. It was hard to score runs. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Can you see that? Yes, it's a 7. Boom.
Okay, awesome. So I think we are gonna overrule you with that one, Abai. 7 out
So
of 10.
7, 6, 8, 7, right? I think that averages out 7. That should be
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Cool. Let's move on to Rassie van der Dussen. I mean, like I said, Aiden Markram gets a 7 because of his fielding. Rassie didn't really see much in the field as the rest. For me, a 6 out of 10 performance. I think it was an excellent 50, but didn't really result in something that South Africa could take as home with. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't think we won that match that Rassie scored that 15. So unfortunately, didn't lead to a win. So 6 out of 10 for me for Rassie. Let's go to Abide. Can you just give the stats before we go to Aditya again?
All right, so 97 runs, 24.25, 1/2 century, best score 56 not out in the first game.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd give Rassie like a 5 and a star next to his name, just because he played well, and he would have continued in that same form if he wasn't yo-yoed up and down the order. So yeah, it's not his fault that he performed the way he did.
Awesome. Yeah. Good rating over there, Seppo.
Yeah, I agree. Five is also what I gave. I thought it was a 6, but then I went 5 because look, he had too many single-digit scores. But once again, it wasn't his fault. It's because he was moved down the order. You'd expect that Rassie would have more time to bat. If you hear Umpo chatting about him, he chats about that window, that Rassie van der Dussen window. It has to be before 10 overs, and he was coming in way later than that. So, like, it's like, I don't know, yeah, he just wasn't in the right place. They weren't using him properly. He should have come earlier than Miller, but yeah, that's a whole discussion for another time. So yeah, a 5 out of 10, but with an asterisk, as Dicho was saying. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Umpo as well. Go follow him on his channel with his new show that he has, of course, as well on his channel. Abai, your thoughts?
So before I gave my rating, I think this series showed that number 5 was way too low batting position for Rassie van der Dussen because, first of all, he is not known to be a player who gets going right from the first ball. He usually bides his time for a little bit, and then he finally is able to open up. He did nicely in the first game, but apart from that, I don't think he really got going in the other games. I mean, he did wicket 32 in the third game, but he was mostly taking singles for most of that innings. So I think we're on the same page so far with 5 out of 10.
With an asterisk. And Khalid just still muted. Tragic.
I mean,
So we obviously rated Rassie over there. To the guys that didn't know. Okay, so let's move on to that one, guys. Abai, I'm going to let you go first with this one and give us the stats first and foremost. It is Reeza Hendricks.
all right, Reeza Hendricks, 78 runs and 19.5, best score of 42, and he played 4 of the games.
Yeah. So, what's your rating about? Let's go with you first.
I'd have to say 4 out of 10. I don't want to be harsh or anything, but I think in recent times we've kind of seen a trend with Hendricks because every time we see him get off to a promising start, something or the other gives way. I mean, the 42 in the second game, it could have been something much bigger. It could have been something more substantial, but he ended up giving away his wicket. He got off to a pretty quick start in the first and third games, but that didn't really get converted to anything much bigger either. So, and then another thing is his strike rates are around 120. That's quite a bit below par for an opening batter in this day and age. It should be around 135.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So I gave him a 5 out of 10 because it went to a winning cause. Because that knock was so important to us winning that particular game, I've given him a 5. Aditya?
Same. I'd give him a 5. Not necessarily because of his output with the bat, but mainly because if we talk a lot about role definition, he fulfilled his role. He's supposed to bat through the power play and partner Quinny, and given that, I thought he did a good job. Should he have carried on? Absolutely. So I guess 5 is decent.
Fair enough. Seppo?
Looks like I'm the generous one here, guys. I thought Reeza Hendricks didn't do much wrong. Look, I checked his strike rates, and in the first game it was 150. Second game where he got that 42, it was at 140. The game after that where he got 17, it was 17, 42, then 17 again. Strike rates of 150, and then after that, in his last game, it was those 2 runs. That one, I guess we could overlook. Well, yeah, it wasn't a good decision. I should have gone out early, so there's an L there. But in terms of that role definition that you guys are talking about in the power play, partnership of 33, partnership of 42, partnership of 70, did pretty well at the front end. So I mean, like, he didn't do much wrong. He could have done better, should have done better. So yeah, it's just that there's so many people. It's very competitive at the top there. There's Yanaman Malan that's been knocking on the door. Aiden Markram, who should be batting there. Temba Bavuma, who says that he'd prefer to open there. So yeah, Reeza Hendricks, he's not doing much to force himself into the side. He's just doing enough. So I gave him a generous 6 out of 10.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna equal there at 5. Because I mean it should be like 5.5, but okay, let's just leave it at 5. I think that because he played majority of the games, like he only didn't play in a couple, in one I think it was, or did he play in all of them? No, he just only didn't play in one. So because he played majority of the games, I think that he should have done better, and I wish he did better. Let's move on to Temba Bavuma. Now, we know with the bat, he didn't necessarily put on the performance like we'd liked, but I think he's, with regards to equality to Reeza. Look here, Reeza is also one of the most experienced campaigners in the T20 in this squad. So out of the rest of the guys, he's played quite a few games in the T20 arena already. So what's the stats over there, Abai, so that we can know?
76 runs, average of 15.2, and the best score is 46 from the second game.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So I've given him 5 out of 10 because I gave him an extra point. The same like Reeza, I had to give him an extra point for something. His batting performances throughout the season, I think it deserves a 4 because he should have done way better than what he was supposed to. But I think a 5 is decent because of the way he captained the side. I think he captained the side quite decently. I think the decisions he made with bringing on the spinners, especially the way he used the spinners, the way he used his bowlers in general. The fact that the bowlers got smacked around is not his fault, but I think there's only one mistake that he really made, and that was when he brought on Lungi Ngidi for that over where he was supposed to bring on KG to bowl KG out. But it didn't really matter because KG got slaughtered anyway when he came on. So it's a bit of a thing that you don't know. Maybe the maths wasn't good there. We don't know. Maybe that was his decision to make. I don't know. But ultimately, I think it's a 5 out of 10 for Temba throughout this particular show. And I think it's quite harsh if people are going to give Temba a lower rating than Reeza Hendricks if they had the same output. I mean, Temba actually batted better than Reeza in that particular match. So it's quite shocking that there's agenda against Temba Bavuma. But okay, let's go on to Aditya, Abba, and then Chepo.
Yeah, I'd go with the same as Reeza Hendricks, 5. In part because I think what really goes against Temba is that, as Abba mentioned, that in 2 games, poor shot selection was the reason for his downfall. And as a captain and experienced campaigner now, he's been in international cricket for 7 years. I think he did have to take more responsibility at number 3. So I think that goes against him, but he did well as a captain, and ultimately he got South Africa a series win. So I think that counts for something. 5 should be good.
Awesome. Then Abba.
All right, so I think so far we're all on the same page. 5 out of 10. 4 for the individual performance, +1 for the leadership. I think right now he's at a point where he's trying to slowly learn to adapt to his multiple roles. And initially, I think it was a bit of a weird decision to bowl Reeza Hendricks in the very first game and then Markram again. But I think as series went on, he slowly got accustomed to the process and learned rather quickly. So credit goes to him for that. I think when it comes to batting, though, he did play 2 irresponsible shots. I think in the 3rd game he tried to hit a big shot early on, and in the 4th game he tried to scoop McCoy over fine leg. That was a pretty weird shot. But other than that, decent team result for his first T20 series. Yeah.
Just a quick thing, Chanda Kumar, I know you asking for AB Talk. There's plenty of content on AB on this particular channel. So just go ahead and go type in AB de Villiers and Cricket Fanatics magazine. You'll get all the dose of AB, all you want to your heart's content of hours and hours of AB de Villiers talk. So go check that out. Don't spam the comment section because the rest of the guys are going to make it unpleasant for them, please, guy. Otherwise, we're going to have to time you out in the chat because I think guys are going to get irritated with that in the chat over there. I'm just letting you know beforehand because our guys over here, they're going to ask to you to get kicked. I'm just warning you beforehand. Just enjoy the show, please. Sepo?
Yeah, low key, bro. That AB de Villiers. If you want to see a guy cry, keep talking about AB de Villiers. But moving on, let's chat about the ratings here. I think you guys are being pretty harsh on Temba Bavuma. Personally, I think that this whole series has proved that it is very difficult to bat on this pitch. They didn't have the answers to the slower bowling. No one was finding boundaries except Quinton de Kock, Lewis, and Fabian Allen and Kieran Pollard when Lungi Ngidi was bowling. Because that's just when the ball's coming fast, it's easy to get the boundaries. So yeah, it was pretty difficult to bat. But with that said, adding to his captaincy was also fantastic, and I also think that captaincy affects your batting. It just does. You can't deny that if you put the captaincy on someone, they're going to wobble, especially for the first few games. So I'm willing to be a little bit more generous, give him a lot more time because it is a difficult job to captain and to bat. And also he doesn't have he has to captain a lot of superstars. Quinton de Kock is there. I'm not saying he's like Paul Pogba, superstar. But I mean, how must it feel if Quinton de Kock and David Miller have been playing IPL for years, and here you are, you haven't even been there, but now you have to lead these guys. So yeah, I gave him a 6.5 because the 5 was for the captaincy. 6.5. So yeah, I know you said no 0.5s, but I'm a rebel. I break the rules.
Non-conformist.
Yeah. It's good to hear your views. That's why we want you to give even if it's majority vote already, we'd like to hear your views on why you picked your particular rating. It's nice to hear what you have to say. That's what it's all about. So far we've got Quinton de Kock. Just for the guys to know, our guy is doing an excellent job keeping everybody updated. Quinton 9, Markram 7, Reeza 5, Rassie 5, and Temba. You'll obviously update that soon, but Temba 5 as well. Okay, let's move on. Let's get a move on this particular thing. Hashid's favorite, David Miller. What do you guys have to say? Abba, would you like to read out the stats of David Miller, please?
It's going to be painful to read, but here goes. Played all 5 games, 52 runs, average of 13, best score of 18 not out.
Okay, Bai, let's go with you first.
You know what? First of all, I think it was really disappointing, especially when you see such an experienced guy that's seriously out of form. I mean, even after like 1 or 2 bad games, you'd hope maybe he's going to come good. Maybe he's going to finally produce the finishing masterclass we've known him for all this time. But looks like he had barely any answers for the death bowling, especially when it was wide or outside off. He couldn't get those away. He only hit a 4 and a 6, I think 2 4s and a 6 overall, which is quite a concerning sign. But then again, I don't think it's fair for those who are calling to drop him. But I think if we were to assess this series as a whole, I'd say probably 3 out of 10.
Okay, cool. So I was going to give him 3 out of 10. That was for his batting performances. But then I remembered the fielding. He made some massive fielding mistakes that I expected David Mulder to take. So that knocks off a point for me, I think, with regards to that. So I gave him a 2 out of 10. Aditya?
I'd give him a 3, perhaps, because in difficult conditions, again, going up and down the order, I think he's batted everywhere from 4, 5, and 6. So I don't think it's easy to adapt. And he perhaps came in at a time where it was most difficult for anyone to bat. So I think I would be, and I also don't believe the argument that David Mulder was out of form. In the PSL before that, he was smacking it all over the park in the UAE in difficult conditions also. So I don't think he's out of form, but I don't think 4, 5, and 6 keep rotating him would really bring out the goods. Yeah, it didn't help him. So yeah, I think I'd be a bit more generous there.
Oh yeah, one quick thing I want to add for Tseko. Yeah, I think number 6 is too low batting position for his ability. Okay, now yeah, go ahead, Tseko.
Guys, no. This man, shocking. Most experienced T20 cricketer in the country. He's about to be the most experienced one. He goes in there, he's going, expecting runs. What are we getting? 12s, 2s. What's this? No. And guys, what bothers me, what like grates me to the core. This man has played so much T20 international cricket. He's played in India. He's played everywhere. Why? Like, does he have no other gears? Is he just going to keep smashing? No, bro. Like, rotate the strike. Find different ways to score runs. You're David Mulder. You've played so many games and you're still trying to smash it around. No. It was just like, I was watching the same thing over and over again. We're just watching him struggle. And I thought by now, if you're that experienced, you would have found different ways to score runs. And then the fielding. That catch was a slipper. That catch went in his hands and then out his hands. And then there was another one where Lungi Ngidi was being smashed, all ends up. And this man, the ball was going straight to him, hey? But now, instead of jumping for the ball, he's sort of like, oh, that's gone way past me. And then you see where it bounces like at the bottom corner of the advertising board. If he had just moved back, he would have caught it. So, bro, this man's cop was not in the game, bruh. It wasn't in the game. I don't know where it was. But, like, honestly, David, bro, if you're watching this, bro, we know you have quality. You know you have quality. The series before, you scored 88 against Pakistan. No. Get good, bro. Get good. 2 out of 10. 2.
Yeah, and I can see people talking over here in the comments and saying, "Oh, but Temba also dropped the catch." But Temba also took a blinder to win the game. So one of a massive blinder change.
He came back. His scope was back. David Mulder's scope was out the whole time. And he's the most experienced player. That's the thing. He has no captaincy pressure. Just go out there and bat, my boy. And what does he do? No.
I'm not asking people to jump on the Temba train and be like protective of him or anything. I just want fair analysis of him. I think he gets exceptional amount of negativity purely because of the skin color. to be honest. And that's what I really feel is happening in this country with regards to Temba Bavuma. And that's my honest opinion and not the views of Cricket Fanatics magazine. But I've seen some very, very negative things that people said about him just purely because he's a Black African player. And I know there's others that also don't think he's great. But I mean, you can't be wanting to drop 3 points on Temba Bavuma when he did exactly what the same thing that Reeza Hendricks did in this particular series. Plus, he captained the side to a victory. So it's a bit weird that there's these double standards all around. And Mulder dropped 2 big catches that could have turned that games as well. So
game changing. And guys, I see the comments saying, "Oh, are we going to drop Miller?" No, there's no way we're dropping David Miller. No way.
That guy's gonna turn it on in the World Cup. I strongly believe that.
He has to turn it on, and I believe he can turn it on. But this is not the David Miller I know. I've been roasting him, but he needs to. This is worse.
We just want to see the best of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the rant I had on that. That crossover show with Offside Maidens. It was all about I want to see the best in him because I know what he's capable of. The guy's exceptional. He has an exceptional amount of skill. I just want to see him do it like he was in the CPL. Like I want to see him do that things for South Africa again on a regular basis. I don't want it to be sporadic. And yes, he comes in at 5, and yes, he comes in at, but he should be able to handle it at this particular stage of his career when he's experienced. I mean, to do that to a youngster, they did it to Aiden, and look what Aiden did. He won us a game. So, I mean, that's the difference, and I would like to see the same from Mulder. So let's move on quickly, rapidly. I don't want to make this stream like 45 minutes. Okay, Kagiso Rabada, what is the stats there, Abai? Let's get it and then give your rating straight away.
Just a second. Let's see here. All right, played all 5 games, 7 wickets, average of 24, economy rate of 9.4. I would probably have to say 6 out of 10. This was definitely not his best series. He did bowl well from time to time. Like I think the final over in the 3rd game that was pretty clinical. But in the very next game, he was quite offline. Got taken to the cleaners by Pollard and Allen. But then again, considering he's the best bowler among the current bunch, I think it's fair to have slightly higher standards when you get ratings. So I'll say 6.
Okay, guys, are we gonna give David Mulder a 3 in the end? I think that's fair. Okay, let's just give him a 3 in the end. Sorry, guys, I forgot to mention that one. Kagiso Rabada. Now, I would have given him a 6 out of 10 for his bowling performance, but I really enjoyed the way he batted in that one particular game. So I'm going to be a little bit generous because he gave me the shoulders a little bit and flung the bat a bit. So I'm going to be a little bit generous with him. And I think he's been decent. I mean, I obviously would have liked to see more Yorkers like he does in the IPL. I would have liked to see more slower deliveries, which I don't think is something that's necessarily very much part of his bowling arsenal. That he doesn't really use it as much, but I would like to see him use it. So I've given him a 7. But what do you think, Aditya, about Kagiso Rabada?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 as well, but for slightly different reasons. I thought he did have, again, as a burst, he had an up and down sort of series, not the KG that we're used to. But one thing that we need to keep in mind is that the bowlers didn't have more than one training session with the white ball. They've come in directly from bowling with the Dukes to bowling with the white Kookaburra. And for KG to then produce the sort of performance he did, winning South Africa the game in that 30-20 is commendable. So I think he deserves a little bit of leniency there.
So you said 7. Yeah, cool. Chepo.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with KG Rabada. As you guys were saying, he had just come from the test match, bowling with the Duke ball, coming into the white ball series, whole different ball game. And what we saw in the first game was that these guys didn't know what was going on. They didn't read how the West Indies bowled to us. They bowled with pace off the ball that made it difficult to get boundaries. What do? We come in with short balls. We want to bash you. No, it didn't work. We got smashed. Next game, they changed gears. They adapted. And lots more Yorkers, lots more slower deliveries. We even saw, I know we're not talking about him now, but Anrich Nortje bowling back of the hand deliveries. So for adapting, I'm gonna give them a 6 out of 10. Yeah, 6 out of 10 for KG. And sorry, I might just speak about the threatening three as one ensemble because apparently CSA just thinks of them that way. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So the guys in the comment section are probably going to skew this one. It's me and Aditya 7, Abai and Tsepo 6. The guys in the comment section look like they're saying 6, that from what I can see. So let's give KG a 6. 6 wins that one. The Bray Shamsi. Abai, do you even want to read these? Do you want to read these stats?
I'm not even looking at the article right now. I have these stats in my head. So he took 7 wickets, average of 11.4, economy rate of exactly 4, A plus. There's no question there.
What is your rating for him?
10.
10.
No explanation required.
I want to give him 10 as well. I was like, do we ever give someone I think it was a perfect performance from my perspective. I'm going to give him a 10 for this particular series. Aditya?
I'm going to give him an 11. Enough said.
Awesome. Tsepo?
I'm going to give him a 9 because this guy's the best bowler. He's the best bowler, but he dropped that catch. You know what? Like, he's number one, so he has to have high standards. But then there was just that caught and ball that, he could have caught it. His hands were there. It just went in, went out. But absolutely exceptional. Like, it doesn't take away from his performance. Maybe I'm just stingy with my marks, but this guy is the real deal. This guy makes me believe in the team again. Shamu, you champion, man. Yes.
Okay, let's move on to we're running out of time, guys, so I need to do this very quickly. George Linde. I gave him a 6 out of 10. I would have liked to see him bat better, but he had such a massive role in us winning the series. So I think because he's an all-rounder, it's the only reason I'm giving him. If it was a spinner alone, I probably would have given him a higher rating. But because he's a batter as well, and we wanted to see him come in and do something with the bat, I don't think I was very impressed with his batting in this particular series. So that's why I've given him a 6, not for anything other reason. Aditya?
I'm going to give him an 8 because I thought he supported Shamsi quite well, and he may not have always. There were times when he went for runs, definitely, and again, he's batting so low in the order that it's difficult for him to come out swinging. He's not an established batter, but I thought he did a very good job along with Shamsi, and certainly deserves.
Cool. Abai, stats and let us know your rating.
Okay, with the ball, 6 wickets at 20.8, economy rate of 7.8, and then with the bat, 9 runs at 2.25. Well, I think I'm with Khalid on this one. I think 6 is a fair rating because he's a genuine all-rounder. If he was a specialist bowler, that rating would probably be higher, maybe 7 or 8. But I think even with the bat, if he made like a quick 15 or 20 in a couple of the games, that would really have helped. So I think that's my reasoning. Yeah,
agree. That's all we need from him. We just need a quick 15 or a quick something, so just to push us over the edge. That's what we need from George Linde. We don't need him to score 50s. Not in that position.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I also gave him a 6, just because as you guys were saying, if you were a bowler, it would be a lot higher. But as a batsman, I'd expect more. But to be fair, at the same time, like what he's good at doing is just hitting it out the ground. He's not there to, like take the quick singles. So I don't think the pitch was good for his style of batting. So that worked against him. But yeah, he has a lot. He has a lot of space to grow, a lot of room to grow, and he's establishing himself in the side. And he was also a little bit expensive sometimes. But when he wasn't, he was on point.
Awesome. Okay. Let's move on to Lungi Ngidi.
So 6 it is? 6?
Yeah, it's 6. Okay, so we're going to move on to Lungi Ngidi now. Aditya, I'm going to let you go first, and then Abai, you can give your ratings after you've written down everything. Aditya first.
I'd probably go with 3 for Lungi. I think he just had one good game, one decent game, and otherwise I think he was getting smashed through the series. So yeah, 3.
Okay, Tsepo.
Yeah, I gave him a 4. I was a little bit more generous just because that comeback came back pretty well. There were some catches that were dropped, when he did try to fight back, but I think he was forced into the side. I'm a bit touched that we didn't have an all-rounder there. He didn't offer much with the batting, so, it made our batting lineup feel short, and it made our bowling lineup also feel short because I feel like we need an extra bowler with him. So yeah, it's 4.
So there were 2 matches that I think that he bowled pretty decently in, out of the rest, and unfortunately you can't. 2 out of 5 matches. It's a difficult one to give. But Abai, can you give the stats of Lungi Ngidi throughout the series?
Took 5 wickets, average of just under 40, and economy rate was about 11. So that's quite the concerning sign. I think across the first 3 games, he was very hittable. I think Evan Lewis enjoyed facing him, hit lots of
Targeted him.
boundaries off him. Yeah, took it pretty much destroyed his figures. But at the same time, I guess that there's both a positive and negative for giving the extended run. I guess considering the fact that he was very expensive early on, one would think that he'd probably get switched out somewhere midway through the series and someone else would get a chance, like maybe a Lazard Williams, maybe an Andile, potentially. But at the same time, credit has to go to the captain for backing him throughout the series, and he finally came good in the last game. I'm not saying it's like an amazing comeback or anything, but it was nice to see. So I'll say 3.
I would have went with like a 2, or 2, between 2 and 3. So I was basically wobbling on the 2 because I was really upset about this performance. I think he could have done a lot better. I don't think he trusted his game and his skill level, his short bowl bounces, etc. So I would have given him a 2. But what does the rest say? So it's 3 from Aditya, 3 from
2,
Abai.
3, 3, 4. I think
And 4.
Seiko said
But
4. So the average
Yeah,
is
I'm
3.
basically making it a 3.
Average
Let's
is
just
3.
make it a 3. I feel
Okay.
guilty giving him 4. I was roasting him throughout the whole series. I really shouldn't have. I think I just felt bad. I gave him an extra point.
Okay, so I lose that one. So it's 3 out of there. So let's get on to Anrich Nortje. The guy was excellent. I think throughout the series he was excellent. Unfortunately, he got injured. So because he didn't play is it fair for us to rate him on the last game? I think he should have taken more wickets. Unfortunately, he got injured and it's not his particular fault. So Abai, let's read out his stats and give him your rating first.
Okay, so he played 4 games. He missed the last game because of precautionary measures. I think he hurt his knee. So 4 wickets at 24.5 and a very good economy rate of 7.
And what's your rating for him?
I'll say 9 out of 10. I think when it comes to line and length, he's pretty accurate. And how good was that 19th over in the 3rd game? That took a lot of pressure off
That
Kagiso
penultimate
Rabada
over was ridiculous.
So it was
well ball.
Yeah, it was 1.
You see,
1, 2.
when people do have moments like that, I can't help but give them extra point for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you perform under pressure, you deserve all the credit you get. So I think that performance alone further boosts the score. So I would have said 8, but that performance makes it a 9.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to Apple.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed about Anrich Nortje, not just how great he was in that penultimate over before KG, giving him just 15 or giving him 15 to defend, which was a lot. It was his ability to adapt. I mean, he's one of our fastest bowlers, one of the best bowlers that we have. I mean, he was player of the year last year, and with good reason. And he proved very difficult to face, difficult to get away. In the first game, in his 2 overs, he had an economy of 5 without taking wickets. And then when he took wickets, the economy rate just went up. But yeah, I mean, ability to adapt and to execute, man's getting an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, that was some BDE in that penultimate over. Some BMT and BDE. Yeah.
And by the guys in the comments are saying that KG was a 6, not a 7. I don't know. I can't remember what we rated him, to be honest. So I don't know. I can't remember. Did we say 6?
I say 6, fam.
We
I think
all
I
said
said
6, didn't we?
I
was
said
the only one that
6.
said
I
7. Okay, we can
definitely
change
said
it.
6.
It doesn't. Not a big train smasher, but don't worry about it. So let's go to Aditya, and then I'll do mine last.
Yeah, I'll go with 8 as well for Anrich. And unlucky to miss out on the last game, but I guess if he did well in the last game, probably be 9. So yeah.
Okay, I've given him an 8 as well. I just think when you lose, when you miss out on a whole game, it's like anything could have happened. So like I can't give him a 9 unless he played, I think, all the games, I guess. But yeah, 8 for me. So I think 8 for Nokia. Bye. Let's move on. Let's go to Wiaan Mulder. Wiaan Mulder is an interesting one because he only played one game. Tough to rate that one. So I'm not going to start first. Bye.
I'll
Stats
start.
in that one?
No,
The
Go
stats
ahead.
first, and then you would say, Paul.
Okay. He only played one game, made 9 off 9, and 2 for 31 and 4 overs.
he contributed to a winning cause. He got 2 wickets in a row, and not just any 2 wickets. It was Kieran Pollard. Sorry. Yes, the Kieran Powell's the other one. Sorry. Kieran Pollard and Andre Russell right after one another. After that, the game was over. The final nail in the coffin. And we'd been begging for slower bowl. I'd been begging for slower bowling throughout the entire series. So I feel like just giving him an extra point because of the team selection, and they made the right call with selection there. So he gets a 7. Also, one thing I want to say, why wasn't this guy in earlier? If Dwayne Pretorius was going to play and we brought the replacement for Dwayne Pretorius, why didn't we play the replacement? That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I gave him a 6 because of his batting, because he's an all-rounder, similar like to George Linde. But I think because I think he was so good in that last game. Okay, the wickets might have been full tosses, but it doesn't. I don't think that really matters in T20 cricket as much. So for me, it was effective. Whatever he had, what he was looking for was the Yorker. So I'm okay with that. So Aditya, what was your rating for Mr. Mulder? And guys, please go check out Wiaan Mulder's interview on our channel. I did one exclusively today, so go check that out on the channel.
It's tough to rate him on one game, and I think it's also unfair to him. But I'm gonna go with the wickets that he got, and just based on his bowling performance, I'd probably give him a 6.
Awesome, 6 all around. Bye. Cool. We didn't rate the one.
Oh wait, I didn't get a chance to share.
No, it's fine. Take your time. We'll take your time. I'll obviously go on to the next people. Anrich Klaasen. I missed him completely on my list here. He was supposed to be after David Muller. Yeah, I completely forgot about him. Anrich Klaasen, what's your thoughts on Anrich?
I wish I could forget about him. My thoughts on Anrich Klaasen. This guy where was this guy? He was trash. Like, bro, comes in, scores only like 2 runs at a strike rate of what? Like 3? This man was chowing balls for no reason, bro. Like, he didn't go hard until he went out. It was Anrich Klaasen. And what bothers me about Anrich Klaasen is that this guy was a captain before. So, like, what happened? The captaincy, us taking away the captaincy from you now mean now you're not going to play well? Like, what? Something is happening in the middle order for South Africa it's just not working. Maybe it's just, I think it's probably just the series. It proved very difficult to bat in those middle overs. So, yeah, hey, Klaasen, my bro. Yeah, sorry, mate. 2. Because you're better than this. Heinrich.
I've also done a 2 for Heinrich. Aditya?
Unfortunately, it's the same.
Okay, bye. You don't even have to read out the stats first for Heinrich. Rabada, you also too?
Yes, I'm part of the 2 gang. 17
Okay.
runs at 8.5 strike rate, not great at all. I think one thing I forgot to share, but if we go back to Mulder, there's definitely potential. I'm not sure if he's quite part of the T20 World Cup plans at this stage, but he's definitely one for the future. I think it's nice to see him put himself in contention as a 6th bowling option, because he did well to take the pace off during the middle overs.
I mean, a good point over there. His catch of Russell was excellent. Someone gave him a 3 in the comment section. So, I mean, excellent point. But I just think that his role in that side is supposed to be batsman 100%. So, yeah, only 1 catch. I don't think it's fair. I mean, if you guys want to drop 2 or 3 points for Rabada's drop catch, I mean, for Bavuma's bad catch, how can you give a whole point for for 1 good catch? So, Bjorn Fortuin, I think it's very difficult to rate Bjorn Fortuin. That's, I think, very unfair. They gave him 1 over, and I think everybody that opened the bowling got smacked, and he was 11. It's not like it was a 15, 16 like some of the other guys that went open the bowling. So it's very unfair to rate Bjorn. Do you want to rate Bjorn, guys? What are you guys on?
Nah, we can't rate 1 over. He didn't even bat. He didn't even feel like no, bro. No.
I gave him a
no.
4 on my list over here. I did give him a 4, but I mean,
Don't you feel
it's
feel
so harsh
guilty,
to
don't
give-
you?
I feel
You
guilty
so
to do it and
guilty.
say it. Yeah.
No.
Did me? I just want to ask a question because I saw a comment here from Hashi. Did me and Hashi agree on every single number today? Because
I
if
think
that's
Hashi-
the case,
Hashid's been on points. He's been getting the same ratings that the whole panel's been getting. So Hashid, if I had a prize for you, you definitely get it. You know what, Hashid? You get a rating.
we never
You get a
agree.
rating of
Now-
9. Now you get a
We agree
rating
on
of 9
ratings.
from me. Yes, there you go.
We never agree, but we
Can we rate Mark Boucher? Are we allowed to do that, or is it only players? Because I have a rating for him.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That-
I have a
didn't think of
rating
that.
for Mark Boucher. I think I'm going to give him a 6. No, maybe even a... No, sorry. I'm going to give him a 7. Okay, and here's why. Okay, a 7. Because how you came up with a win against the World T20 champions. Like, when there were obvious holes in the team, you know, and some of the decision making was poor. Honestly, I don't know how we didn't adapt. Some of the selections were bad. They should have been good. You know, we should have got all-rounders in. We should have got slower bowling in, but we persisted with the threatening 3. So yeah, I'm between 6 and 7 because as much as like you didn't do what I wanted you to do, you still came through with a W. So 7, you know.
Yeah, a 6 for me for Boucher, I think, because the batting department is what I think is his domain. That's where we should excel under him, I think. So unfortunately, he hasn't employed a batting coach, which I think he should rather do. He's taken that mantle, and our batting's been poor. So it hasn't been as successful as I hoped it was. But kudos to him getting Quinton de Kock back in form again and playing the way he is freely and being that guy in the side. So I think 6 or 7 is a good rating. What is your rating for Aditya, for Boucher?
I'm going to be a bit generous and give him 8 because the team is obviously struggling and has been struggling for a long period of time. So to then come to foreign conditions, adapt and beat the world champions in their home conditions is a significant achievement, and I think he deserves credit for that. So it's not the perfect team; they're not the finished article, but
Okay.
I think
So
Boucher gets a
7
lot of flack for when things don't go well. So I think he deserves a
So
little bit
give him credit when he does, yeah. I feel the same way about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Look at 7 pro Tempo, 7 for Tempo, 6. I mean 8 for Abai. I mean Aditya 7. 6 for me. Abai, I'm getting tired. Abai.
7. Yeah, I'm going to go with 7. I think there's there's plenty to appreciate because this is the first series win in this format for South Africa in since 2019. So I hope this is like a good sign for the progress that's to come in the near future. And I think the team's now in a much better place than they were earlier this year, like against England and Pakistan.
Awesome. Okay, guys, so there's the ratings for the players at the bottom. We also gave Mark Boucher a 7 out of 10 for his particular coaching for this particular game and getting that W against the world champions. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Please go ahead and check out our preview. Basically, it's a sort of, I wouldn't call it a preview really. It's almost a teaser for our magazine that's coming out this month. A Wiaan Mulder interview. It's all about Test cricket, red ball cricket, how he's adapted, etc. So go ahead and check that particular the video out. The exclusive video is on the channel in the exclusive section below. We have a playlist for all of our exclusive interviews as well. Don't forget to download. You have to subscribe to the magazine to get that notification as well. So subscribe to that magazine, and the link is on the screen and in the description. All issues are free, even the back issues. So go ahead. I mean, we're doing this amazing content for you for absolutely free. Our guys are putting so much effort into this every single month without fail. So guys, we've done 13 issues on the trot without fail, not missing one particular month. So please go ahead and do that. Go and follow us over there and subscribe to us over there. Smash that like button, of course. You know what you have to do. And click subscribe and the notification bell for all future videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow with our regular time slot of our daily show and the same type of time stamp. You won't be seeing the 56 minutes a lot on the daily show. It was a special show today. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Take care, everybody, and enjoy your evening. Enjoy the Euros.